All right. Hello, everybody. Um, Welcome to the Super Davis Bros podcast. We're excited to um, do our review on the movie Dune Part II. I should clarify that, actually, I was looking at it today, Jord. This is, in our introduction, we always say like movie reviews or something like that, or pop culture, or whatever, like, and all things pop culture. But this is our second movie review, and we're on episode 38. And
That's
our
true.
our first one ever was our second episode of the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I've been watching a lot lately because of Becca. But um, anyway, it was kind of funny. So I was like, oh, we don't review
I
movies
didn't
that
even
much,
think about that.
but we do talk about movies a lot and give our opinions on movies. So I think that counts.
Yeah, that's true. And we kind of like took a different direction when we realized like it was a lot of homework to like review a movie rather than like just watch a bunch of movies and talk about random stuff.
I'd also
Oh,
say we're probably not the best review like movie critics. Like
well, we're both very similar too.
yeah, we like the same movies, and a lot of times we're not like over stingy about movies. We're just like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's
It's entertaining. That's all I want out of movies. So with that, with Dune Part Two, I've got a couple of ideas that I'm gonna go through on this podcast, where I don't think we're gonna spend a ton of time talking about Dune Part Two. Part of which will be the experience that we had watching the movie, my experience. I didn't get to finish it, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the other part is like, you know what? You probably find a million reviews on Dune Part Two that go into deep doctrine within the book, or talk about, what was good about the plot, what was bad about the plot, and we'll talk about what we liked, obviously, and the things that we enjoyed. But if you're looking for a deep depth, a deep intellectual review of Dune Part 2, maybe this isn't the episode for you. We're just going to goof around and have a good time.
exactly. I'm not. I'm not worried about. I never am worried about getting like too deep into movies. It's kind
Yeah.
of funny. It's like it's always I like it or I don't.
And Jordan, we were talking today about what game we should play
Yeah.
for those of you on the podcast. And Jordan came up with the best idea for the game we should play.
In
because
honor of Dune.
Yeah, go ahead. What game are we playing? One.
Earthworm Jim 2.
If the title doesn't say it.
Yeah.
Earthworm
Worms.
Jim in the earth. Although we could argue that Dune, it didn't take place on Earth, so they weren't really earthworms. But the other one I was thinking of, George, was Doom, because it sounds like Dune.
Oh, that would have been good too. I think the old Dune's on here, so
Yeah, but Earthworm Jim, we've never played this before. It just came on the Switch recently, and I think this is Earthworm Jim 2, right?
yes. Like, no, it just.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sorry about my voice. My freaking voice is like, it's just gone. I don't know why it won't come back. I had a cold like 3 weeks ago.
Not
And
sick anymore.
I'm not sick. Yeah, I don't feel anything. I just all of a sudden can't talk. Like just then I was saying, yeah. See, it just
Oh,
did it.
yeah.
I was
yeah.
saying yeah, and it just doesn't say anything.
Just lost your voice.
I don't know. I don't know why. It's driving me flipping nuts lately, though.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna try and fumble our way through Earthworm Jim for as long as we can bear, and if we get bored, we'll move to something else. But it was a fun idea. I remember renting Earthworm Jim, the first Earthworm Jim, when we were kids, and I remember always going back to it, and I think it was just because it was so weird. Like, you just kept going back to rent it because it was just such a weird video game. Like, you're like this weird worm thing that you like swing with your head or hair or whatever the worm is.
I don't know. You kind of use your head to like, well, whip.
Yeah, I think you can. Think you can whip, and I think you can like shoot it to, as like It's like a whip to swing too. I think he can do that.
Yeah, I don't
And
know
the
how to do
goop
it
you
that
can like
well yet.
sweep from goop green to green. But we haven't played this before, guys. So if you're streaming, and I don't know how many people are on today, but if you're streaming, you have to bear with us on today's game because we are not familiar with it. We're just gonna kind of figure it out as we go. Probably have a few. Whoa, pig.
It was a pig shoot.
Anyway, so let's start off with Dune, and then I've got some fun questions, Jordan. I thought I'd throw some just random questions at you, so the people on the podcast could get to know you a little bit better and your opinions and your views on things. Don't worry, nothing political, just funny stuff. Are you cool with that? I'm
Yeah.
kind of throwing that on you as a surprise. So
Yeah, that's chill.
okay, cool.
I'll do my best to answer. Like, I do my best to do movie reviews.
Perfect. So it will be terrible
Yep.
as our movie reviews. All right. So I do need to give a little warning about the movie. First of all, there's going to be some spoilers. And then second of all, we went to the movie on Saturday, and I've actually been dealing with some back problems. I had my back go out a couple weeks ago. And unfortunately, Dune is a really long movie, and we went together as a bunch of friends, and we went to dinner before, and the chairs in the theater that we went to were just awful. And
They were the worst. So, shout out to Cinemark.
yeah, dude, your chair sucks,
Dude,
Cinemark.
replace your chairs.
Yeah.
They, for even people that aren't currently suffering from back issues, are like, crap.
You've had a
were
hard time with them too.
completely
Huh?
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was struggling in them too.
Yeah, my wife, who's she didn't have any back problems either, was like, man, these things suck. And they do. They're just terrible chairs. And I've had a bad back, so I tried to do the best I could. I was sitting on them. I probably got about 2 hours through the movie, but it's a long movie. And I finally just, I didn't want to ruin my back anymore, and it kind of set me back a little, honestly. So I had to leave, and I had my wife fill me in on what had happened, and I'm going to just have to wait till it streams to finish it, unfortunately. Mom suggested she has some free tickets on the 25th. She was like, oh, why don't you just take them and then just go into the theater the second half and watch it? And so I might do that. But
There you go.
yeah. Anyway, so let's talk a little Dune. What did you think, Jord? First film compared to second film. What were your favorite parts? What are some of your thoughts on it?
I mean, I loved them both. I kind of liked the first one because you were getting introduced to a lot of really cool stuff. One thing in particular is the shields were so cool.
Oh yeah, the shield that gives you the ability. It stops it doesn't allow things to penetrate if they're coming at you quickly, right? So the only way you can kill your opponent with the shield up is if you do it slowly. That was cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't a big emphasis on this second film.
No, I felt like
it was there.
Kinda like-
you knew
well,
about it, but
it was there, but it was like it wasn't as apparent. Plus, I thought they kind of looked different. Didn't they look different?
the
Like,
shields.
It was like actually like covering their body, and this time the shield was kind of like just making their body look like.
I thought it was about the same. They kind of show in the first one. I watched the first one right before we went on the movie, but it's kind of the same. They show up for a sec and then it kind of fades out. So I thought it was okay. But they don't explain it or anything, which is fine. They don't expect you to. They don't do any any preparation or reminders of the first movie. They're just like, we're back at it. Here we go. Dune Part 2. We don't have a second to waste. This is going to be a 3-hour movie, so buckle in.
Yeah, that's true.
But
regardless, I liked them both.
Yeah,
equally,
it was
for
a great sequel.
But I just like it was a big introductory movie to me. The first, obviously, like it kind of has to be because it's the first movie. Actually, there was another one, wasn't there?
Well,
Forever
there was
ago?
an old version
Yeah, so
of
I
it.
guess it's
Yeah.
not the first of its kind of thing. But oh my gosh, I can't get past this part. But it was just new to me, I guess. The first of its kind to me. I
Yeah,
guess I
me
could
too.
say.
It was cool because it was giving you. It was a little slow at times. I'm not. I'm gonna mess this up, dude. Jordan just gave me the control. I don't even know the buttons to this. So we'll
Good
see how
luck.
it works. But the first one was a little slow, but the cinematography, like the world, was just gorgeous. So it wasn't.
Both of them, the worlds were gorgeous.
Yeah, I do feel
And
like that first one though they did like a bit of a better job with the worlds where the world. I guess just the cinematography, like the beauty of the landscape. They did a lot more like cinematography views of like the world that you were on, whereas this one got right to like what the wars were, you know.
yeah, I agree.
So I don't know.
Oh, that's how you do it. Nice job, Matt. See, you did just fine.
Thanks. I really don't remember much of this game. So, anyways, keep going, Jord. What else did you
Um,
like, hate, feel, have opinions on?
I didn't like how I felt like the fight scenes were small and
See,
not just to the people fighting in them. Like, not sorry, like just as in like justifying the people fighting in them. Like they didn't emphasize how good of fighters some people should have been. I feel like,
oh really?
yeah, I mean, mainly, and I know he's kind of like he kind of runs away from battles, and somebody, I think, was it you that kind of explained that to me? What's his name? Glossu, Glossu.
Yeah, the dude that played in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he was always kind of a coward throughout the first film and the second one, where he only really was a tough guy when he was like snapping people's necks. Um, he'd like snap people's necks or whatever behind their back. Like he was never really like a tough
it's true. That's
guy.
true. I just feel like he could put up more of a fight than he did, and so, and that's kind of coming from not knowing. I only watched the other one once. It was late at night, and I wanted to watch the first one again because I enjoyed it, and it could have just been what I didn't take from it,
Yeah.
something I didn't take from it. But either way, though, like even some of the other fight scenes, like they were dope scenes. Like, don't get me wrong, but I was like, why? Well, there need to be more. Why did it end that quick? Like, I wanted them to battle it out for a while longer, or
Okay.
just different scenes could have lasted longer. Like more emphasis on like the guys, like the takedowns of the. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'm not sure what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to. Yeah, the when they would like show up on the planet, the guys collecting spice. What are their names?
Oh, the H ones, the Hawken peeps, the
Yeah,
bald dudes.
yeah, the bald dudes. They
See, this is why we suck at movie reviews.
right, right. So those guys, they'd be like taking them down, and yeah, they had like the upper hand because they're like popping out of the sand, and it's their territory that they're protecting. So it's obviously they're obviously gonna have the upper hand. You know what I mean?
The people in the sand?
Yeah, because well, they're learning to fight using the sand and like
Okay.
hiding in it,
Okay.
and that's harder for them to show
Those
up.
scenes are cool, dude, when they're like
They're
buried
way
in
cool.
the
That's
sand.
why I wanted more of it.
Yeah. I can
And
understand
so
that. That's funny because I was like, oh, there's so much more fighting in this. I love
there
it.
was more fighting for sure, but it just should have been even more because I
Yeah.
liked it so much. So those are my big takes on it. I'm trying to review my stuff too. I didn't like, and big spoiler, I didn't like Christopher Walken's in it. I
Yeah.
love Christopher Walken's. I think he's a great actor, and he's played a villain actor before, and I've liked him in those roles, like Walking. No, not Walking Tall. Another one came out that same area. The Rundown. The
is he the
Rundown.
villain in that?
He's a villain in that, and he has like his just comedic kind of spin to how he acts. And if you I don't know. You get used to that
I thought
comedic spin, and then in this one, I just was like, I was just ready for him to be like, I don't know. That's kind of weird to explain.
I don't know.
Explain it.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. No, basically, if or I like Christopher Walken's, but I didn't like him in this because all I could think of is I need more cowbell.
Fighters. Yeah,
and his voice just and how he talks just didn't work. I felt like they could have put somebody more like that just suited the role better, I guess. Yeah, this is why we suck at reviews.
I would say this. I just think he just kind of took you out of the movie.
Yeah.
So when you got
that's what I was
right when you got to Christopher Walken, in my opinion, you're like, oh, it's Christopher Walken, and I immediately left the movie. At that point, I was like, oh, it's Christopher Walken. I don't know. It kind of takes you out of the movie, and you're like thinking about need more cowbell or his voice. But it was okay. I liked him. I'll give a couple of my thoughts on it.
I guess real quick.
Yeah.
The fighting. I was talking with somebody about here I can do it. About it being like a little. The reason they didn't add more or emphasize it more is because of the fact that it was such a long movie and they needed to bring so much information into it, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that's kind of fair. Because there's a lot that they were trying to set up for the rest of the movies and stuff. Does that make sense? Sorry.
Yeah, kind of. I'll say a couple things that I liked. I loved the world building on the first movie. The second movie I thought was really cool. I thought it was a little dark. When you get to the bald guys stuff, it's pretty dark in my opinion. I think it almost kind of crossed the line of PG-13 to R at times. I know that would be my wife's critique on it. Was a little bit gruesome, a little bit of dark, sinister undertones, which I haven't read the book. Oh, we should also preface, we were supposed to have Jane on, but she had to go out of town. And she knows all the books and movies.
She would have been great.
And so I feel bad that we don't have her on. But
we wouldn't have been stumbling over our terrible reviewing skills.
Yeah, but that being said, you're gonna have to deal with our takes on it. I thought it was a little dark, but I thought it was a really good follow up. Some spoilers about the ending. So plug your ears. I'm gonna spoil a little bit about the ending. I wasn't able to watch this play out.
Listen to our podcast and plug your ears.
What? Yeah, okay.
So plug your ears.
Just skip forward. Do the 15-second skip forward for a minute. Hello. So we oh no, wait, I have to do that after I say after I say what I was
You're supposed to say welcome back once you've said it.
Once I've said it. I'll do that in a minute.
Go.
Okay, so spoilers, Timothy Chalamet's character, he ends up promising Zendaya's character, like, he's like, I'll love you forever, and they do a good job with their relationship, I think, throughout the film. And then he's basically like, he decides that he is going to be this like savior of the Sand people. And after he tells her he loves her, he basically tells the Emperor, like, I'm going to marry your daughter. And my wife was like, I hated that. I'm like, yeah, I can see how people were frustrated with that, but I haven't read the books. I'm sure there's more to the plot. I bet Zendaya and him end up together, but in the first movie, he does have visions of her killing him, so maybe that plays a role. Not all of his visions come to fruition, right? We know that. We know that just because he's had a vision doesn't always mean it'll come true, because of that guy that he, I think his name's Jameis, I believe the guy's name was in the film, that he killed in the first film. But he had visions of him teaching him the ways and stuff. I'm pretty sure his name was James.
I don't remember.
Anyway, yeah. Overall, I thought it was a really great film. I think like probably shouldn't give away too much of the plot. But I will say that I think it was a solid film. And one thing that I did appreciate with this film is it was like it's been a while since I've gone to the movies and been like amazed, like where I'm just like, oh my gosh, this takes me to another place.
You liked Avatar.
Oh
No,
yeah, Avatar: Way of the
he
Water.
loved Avatar.
That's true. But that was still last year. Actually, it was 2 years ago. But yeah, Avatar's amazing. I
That
did
was
love Way
2
of the
years
Water.
ago.
Yeah, we went when it was technically
No,
2022. Yeah,
no, we went. Avatar: The Way of the Water was. We
it
went
was
for.
December 2022 before you started
Oh
at
my
work.
gosh, yeah. So it's not 2 years. It's a year. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I guess.
I
No,
guess
that
I'm
makes
just saying
sense.
it's in 2022.
Well, it was just tripping me out. Yeah, that makes
So,
sense. It was.
you're right. It's been like a year and 4 months. But
It came out in 2022. You're
uh,
right.
and the Way of the Water was beautiful. So I will say that. But this one was like, I guess I expected that a little bit with Avatar, and I guess I should have expected that with Dune. But it's just nice. It used to feel like every time I went to the theaters, I was experiencing such like a cool thing. You know, like it was gonna take me to a new place, a new world, and a lot of the new movies just haven't done that for me. But this one, I was just like enthralled in like everything, like the scenes and the fight scenes and the cinematography, the visual effects that were going on. The world that was created in part two was just so cool. So I did appreciate that. I was like, oh man, I don't know. It just felt like an experience. That being said, I think I am getting old. Okay, aside from my back hurting,
We all knew that.
aside from my back hurting, the other thing that I'll say is, I think I'd rather experience this movie from home because
Right.
it is long and
Yeah,
people
I wish
annoy me.
Yeah, and my chairs are more comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was one takeaway. Anyway, let's take a break from the review. How about I ask you some fun questions? Because we're not doing so hot on the review, guys. I think this is a learning curve for us in the podcast. So
Yeah, every time.
all right, okay. So let's get into some weird questions. I had some fun questions I wanted to ask you, George, to get your opinion on stuff. So take your time to think about it if you'd like. And I just want to get your insights into your weird brain. So, first, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
I don't know. I'm gonna. That is such a random changeover.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
awesome.
I just
I
thought,
like
you know,
it. It's
I
awesome.
kind of figured our review might struggle a little, and I think we're learning that maybe we're not going to do just movie reviews. But I thought it'd be fun to do some
No, that's
dorky
awesome.
random questions. So.
Probably the most wild thing is only alligator, because I really haven't tried too many.
Oh, you've had
crazy
alligator,
things.
huh?
Yeah, yeah. I had it in Florida when I went to the Disney cruise.
Oh, okay. Was it good?
And yeah, it was good. It was like, to me, it was like tough chicken. It
Okay.
tasted like chicken to me, and so I was like, this isn't really worth, like, I don't really care to have alligator. I'm not like, it's amazing. So
Okay, cool. That's a good answer. I wouldn't have guessed that you'd eat an alligator. All right, fun one.
I
What?
guess another one, octopi.
Oh, okay.
Like, have you had the ones that are like full, like little tiny
Alive?
octopi?
Yeah.
No, not alive.
Oh,
But,
I've had them alive.
man, they like, you can feel the suctions on your tongue and you pop their head when you, but it's a full, like, it's probably like two solid inches tall, and like width, probably two at the leg, like on the tentacles, 2 inches, and you just throw the whole thing in your mouth, and you can feel every little suction thing around your mouth, and then you can also, when you bite down, you pop the head, and it's gross.
Oh,
I was like,
were you able
"Ooh."
to swallow it?
Hmm?
Were you able to eat it all, like after you pop the head? Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad taste. It was just awkward eating it. So I was
Yeah.
like, ugh. It was probably one of the foods that I actually was pretty affected by the texture. I don't get affected by the textures of food that often,
Uh-huh.
and that one,
Yeah.
one messed with me.
I can imagine. That sounds disgusting. So, okay, let's do another one. Okay. Well, how about we'll do a question and then just do something that you liked in the movie, and then we'll do a question or something like. So, what was something you dug on the movie?
Zendaya. Everybody digs
Yeah,
Zendaya, right?
Zendaya's gorgeous. Okay. All right, back to a question. What's the next sport that will be invented? Actually, let's do this based on Dune. they've got to have time to do some sports in Dune, right? What sport do you think would be a sport on that planet?
Oh man, that's weird. I don't think outside the box enough. um, there's got to be some sort of sand implemented sport.
Yeah.
Ooh, like you know what? Worm racing.
Oh yeah, there you
That
go.
would be cool.
That's a good one. They
Or
like worm racing, something to the effect of that Star Wars scene in the eighth film, I think it was, where they're like running around the track. They use the little worms with the kids, and they just like run around the track.
yeah, that's right.
Okay. Oh, go on.
Well, I was just gonna say there was this little skit thing. I told you about it earlier, but for everybody else, look up.
If
There's
you
like
double
this,
shoot on this, Jordan. Sorry.
I
If you
you
use
can
BB
no oh
like that.
maybe
So if you run, oops. Oh, gosh.
you mean double jump?
No, if you hit this B button twice, it shoots
Mhm.
out the slime, and then you can grab
Maybe
onto
grab
that
onto that slime
over
up top.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get it, but
Sorry,
sorry,
go
I
on.
forgot what I was saying.
Okay, well we continue. It was about sports.
That was easy, dude. I just did it.
oh, nice.
Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, no, I was gonna say there's a little like skit thing. Somebody printed this little paper of of a the guy like with his ropes that hook onto the worms, and a little tiny miniature version of it, and he was like he like hooked it to an actual earthworm,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was like crawling around with it attached, a little stick figure of that guy, a sticky
funny.
picture of that guy. It was just cool.
That is cool. Okay, what post-apocalyptic place would you think you could survive in? So I consider Dune kind of like a post-apocalyptic like place. You could think of like Hunger Games, Walking Dead, I Am Legend. What world do you think end of the world happens, but you or like another space area like Dune that you could like survive? Like Dune's a weird planet, you know. Well, actually, I don't think that's the name of the planet, but Dune, the main planet that they're on, the sand planet with all the spice, is like a crazy planet. Like, do you think you could survive in there? What post-apocalyptic world do you think like you'd have the best chance of survival?
I guess it would be way hard to survive without water on that planet because they struggle to get water.
Right.
I mean, they like suck water out of people with their little machines, which is crazy.
Yeah, that was gross, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I don't know. I'd like to pretend like I could do awesome in a zombie apocalypse because it just sounds badass.
I think everybody wishes they could,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah, but also I'm always like, yeah, but if it really did come to that, I'd just be freaking so terrified of trying to protect my kids, or I just wouldn't want them to live through it anyways.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but
I think
I think I do fine in like if in just survival mode at the end of the world,
yeah.
like not zombies.
Well, it could be
just-
anything. Like Hunger Games is kind of post-apocalyptic, where you have like these districts that you're in. Like, do you think like, oh, I could go? Say you're in district, you get sent to the Hunger Games. Is that one that you think you could survive in, or Divergent series? You know, I don't know. One I thought about like post like end of the world situation is Waterworld. I was like, I think I could do pretty well in Waterworld.
You would do great in Waterworld, man.
I
You
think
would do great.
That'd be one of the few I feel like I could do really well in. I don't know. Okay, we'll move on to a new question then. So, let's do.
I'm gonna kind of think about that one though.
Okay, if you had to change your name from Jordan, what would you choose? You had to change your name. There's someone said to you, "Hey, man, I'm gonna give you $800 million, but you have to change your name."
London.
Shut up. Not after $800 million. You could be. You wouldn't be alone after that.
Oh man, I don't.
What?
I don't
But
think about changing my name.
I've never thought about it
That's so
either. But
funny.
I'm like, or what do you think? Like, have you ever been mistaken as someone called you? Have you ever been told like, oh, you could be a Mark, or you could be a, I don't know,
Like
what
somebody said a Chase once to me.
a Chase?
Yeah.
I
But I
couldn't
was
see
like,
Chase.
I couldn't see it either. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe uh I'm trying to think of like actors that I'm similar to. Like, hey, that works. But Carrot Top. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I could see you as
Grandpa would like Charles. Like,
Charles. I don't know about
no.
Charles. I don't think I could see you as a Charles. It'd be hard. I think Jordan's a pretty good name for you, but funny enough, people call you, JD and stuff. Like you kind of you've kind of
Yeah.
had another name.
I mean, I like JD as well, so I'd be down with that. But I don't know. It's hard. Why are these questions so hard?
Sorry, I just Googled some funny questions to ask. So.
Um,
You got to pick one. So pick your name.
Let's go with I don't freaking know. Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. Bruce.
Bruce. Well, yeah, no, I'd add Wayne.
I could see you maybe as like another J name, maybe like Jackson.
I couldn't see that.
Maybe
name.
Chris. Chris sounds okay. I don't know, man. Be hard. I'm gonna go with Harry.
No. That's funny.
Ronald Weasley.
We just think of every gender we can.
Cool. All right, let's go with another question. Yeah. Let's make another point of the movie that we liked. I'll say another part of the movie that I liked. I loved his the scene where they're gonna take down that machine that harvests the spice, and he's underneath the sand, and they've got the sticks up so they can breathe, which is so cool. And then that little mouse thing walks up, and he's like, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" And he ends up naming his sand name or whatever, his like people's village name is
after the mouse.
After that mouse. I thought that was cool.
That was clever. Yes.
I liked that. So, okay. What would you be if you had to wear one Halloween costume every day for the rest of your life? So you pick one Halloween costume, and that's it. You have to wear every single day.
My stick figure one.
You wear that every day? That'd be so uncomfortable.
It would be way uncomfortable. I had to pick a Halloween costume.
And it can be Belle of the Ball. Like, it'll be the best one of that costume. But you got to pick one.
Oh, man. What would you pick?
Harry Potter.
Of course. Okay.
No, in all reality, I probably would pick something that I could kind of pull off every day. So maybe I'd be like a goth.
Businessman. A what?
Like a goth or something. As people just be like,
wear
oh,
black
I don't know, this guy's
clothes.
weird.
Yeah.
But whatever. So, I don't know.
Comfort clothes. You're just like,
Yeah.
I'd be a lazy person. I just want to wear sweatpants every day. That would really affect like
Affect your life.
your
wouldn't it?
life. You'd have to, like people wouldn't like hire you
Yeah.
if you're sitting there in sweatpants. Like, well, but I have to wear these every day of my life.
Okay, let's give another thing that you liked about Dune, and then we'll do another question. And then we'll do what
I
we're
liked
streaming
that
and close it out.
threat towards the end, like when he's like, "I'm going to." The ultimatum that he gives the Emperor.
I didn't see this part.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry.
It's okay. Bria
So-
kind of told me what happened, but I didn't see it, so I don't know exactly what.
He basically goes, "I'll take your daughter's hand in marriage,
Uh-huh.
call off your ships, otherwise we have like our nukes pointed at your spice thing, and we'll blow it all up.
Uh-huh.
And you have to bow to me, basically." I think he says like, "Yeah, surrender to me," basically, and then I'll marry your daughter.
Mm.
And it was kind of like, it was a pretty hype moment. I was like, ooh, this is dope. This is dope.
like,
I kind of
I
hope
am the
they
savior.
blow up the spice thing because that would be wicked cool. But it was a cool scene altogether.
Yeah, I think I might ask mom to let me use her free ticket to watch the second half because I really
Do
wish
it.
I didn't miss out.
Or just wait until it comes out.
Yeah.
Either way.
Okay, what's the most addictive game for you? So the video game that you're most into, you're like, I gotta play this one.
Say that again. Sorry. I actually, let me,
Your most addictive game, the
right
game that you
now,
can't stop playing
Helldivers. It's so sick.
of all time. Would
Not
you
of
say
all
Hillary?
time. Oh, actually, I mean, it's it's
It's up
really
there.
roping me in like crazy. Um,
I would say
mm,
Mario 64 for me.
I was gonna say, I'll guess yours. It's Mario
Yeah,
64.
Mario 64. I can't stop playing that game. It's over the years has been my favorite. So.
I would say Call of Duty's always kind of kept
Yeah,
me
Call of
roped in,
Duty's a good
but
pick. Yeah.
up until the most recent ones, then it's been like, I don't know how much I care for Call of Duty anymore. You know,
Oh yeah.
I like them, but they've changed and
Yeah, and they're also kind of the same thing too, over and over.
yeah.
Okay, let's do a couple more. And we'll
Real
do
quick,
yeah.
let me just at the beginning, Dad commented, "I'm here, but a little disengaged, having seen neither version of Dune. All I know is that Sting starred in the early
Original.
'80s version, and I like Sting a lot." And then he said, "Alligators have a bite to it. Alligator has a bite to it."
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh really? Tell me. Tell me more.
I did not catch that right away. I'm like, oh really? Like,
Really?
okay,
That's
cool. That's got a bite.
That's
to it.
crazy. It's like naturally spicy. Alligator. And then Alpha Curtis is on, and he's from our shop.
Right.
Yeah. Um, he said, "I would just give in. I'm not sure."
Oh, maybe post-apocalyptic world.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
just
maybe.
like, I just give up and die. I've talked about this with my wife. I'm like, I hope when the end of the world comes, the nuke's pointed right at my house because I don't want to try and protect my kids from that.
My dad said Joe for my nickname. I should have read these
Oh,
earlier.
Joe. Joe's a good one. Yeah.
Because I was actually
You
when I
could
was
be a
in,
Joe.
well, I should have said that actually. I'm glad you reminded me of it. So, when I was in elementary school, teachers, my teacher called me, or we had three other Jordans in our class, and I was so sick of like the Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. I actually
Right.
think we talked about this on a
We
podcast.
did talk about it, and then
Yeah,
they called you Joe.
so they called me Joe.
All right. I'm going to do one more. Let's do two more questions, okay? And then let's do what we're digging right now, okay? And then we'll close it out.
Okay.
So what would your last meal on Earth be, Jordan?
Sushi.
Sushi.
I love sushi, man.
Unlimited sushi. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
All you can eat.
I like that. I like that pick.
Yeah, easy pick for me.
Okay. Let's do.
What's yours?
Little Caesar's pizza with ranch.
That is so lame.
I know, but I love it. I don't eat it anymore. So it's like one of the few foods that I miss. So all right. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll
Alpha Curtis said, "Yes, JD, it's future of your shop name."
Oh, Joe.
No, JD.
Oh, JD. Okay.
They're just
There you
probably
go.
gonna call me JD from now on.
Okay. All right. What is your most what is your biggest fear? Not you don't have to get vulnerable or anything. Just like if it's like something silly like spiders or something like that. What's your
I was
biggest
gonna say spiders.
fear? Ron Weasley. Why did it
No,
have
man,
to
we
be
connect. We both don't
spiders?
have souls.
Why couldn't it be follow the butterflies?
My biggest fear, it'd be probably having to protect my kids in a zombie like post-apocalyptic world.
Let's not get too vulnerable. Let's get like simple fears, okay?
Yeah,
Like
I said
like
spiders.
peeing your pants in public or something like that. Or do you
I've
have
been
like
there, done that.
yeah,
I'm just
everybody's done that. All right, no biggie. you're not scared of like, you don't get like freaked out by like wasps or spiders or the dark or
I get like kind of like, "Ugh, I don't want to mess with spiders," and it's kind of funny. You get like that quick hype when you're like squishing one with just a napkin,
yeah,
like as
that
if it's going to
adrenaline rush.
it's gonna like
Fight or
somehow get
flight mode.
around it. Yeah,
You're just like, die.
and yeah, so I like extra squeeze, and I'm like, "Ugh," because I'm fine with just squishing them or scooting them outside or whatever, but I don't like them. They kind of freak me out. I mean, and spiders can be freaking messed up, man. They like the
Wolf
hobo
spiders.
spiders will like
Oh yeah.
decay your skin.
Yeah, black widows and
Crazy.
stuff are pretty gnarly too. Yeah. All right. I'll do my fear. I've got a bunch of little funny fears, but I have to like overcome them when I'm trying to be manly. Like I don't like freaking bees and wasps, and I've had to kill like our house is like just like the wasp, like I don't know, central. Every year I'm having to kill wasps, so I don't like it. I'd like put up. I look so funny. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go out and kill it, and I go at night, which they say that's the best time to do it. But then I get like sweater on and a jacket on and a beanie on, and like gloves on, and I'm like, I don't want to get stung, and I go out there like, and I hurry and spray it and like run away. So
Dude,
I face my fears, but that's a fear for
pretty
me.
terrifying to do it like out in the open like that. But we tested at work a theory of the gasoline in a cup over a hive.
Yeah, I know that works, but
And it
dude,
works.
you got to be like
Well,
that.
I was like, that would be hard for me to want to put my hand there.
not let go.
Dude, Rex at work did it, and I was like, damn, like that.
Like you are a
That's
man.
that was manly for
Yeah.
sure. Holy crap.
I've seen them do that stuff. Like I actually just this last weekend I had to go fill in a area of my house that I didn't know had like a little hole, 'cause we had like a way bad wasp's nest up there, and I kept spraying it at night trying to like get in it, and I couldn't, so I had to seal it off. But anyway, okay, so with that, I'd like to apologize to our listeners and thank those that got to the end of this podcast. I don't think we're going to do movie reviews in the future. I think we're going to definitely rank movies.
Yeah.
But, I just don't know if our intellect's there. So
Yeah.
we apologize for this movie review and thank those that hung around on the chat that listened to the end of the podcast.
Yeah, real quick, Major Francis is on again. Francis is on again.
Oh, that is so kind.
Hell yeah. And
Stick with us. Next week will be better.
and she said snake clowns. Is that snakes and clowns or snake clowns? Because snake clowns would be pretty intense. Like that reminds me of Beetlejuice. He almost looks like a
he
clown.
kind of does
while
look
he's in
like
a
a snake clown. I was also thinking kind of in Harry Potter, like it goes from a snake to a clown. I think wasn't it a clown? Anyway, yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Like
That's what made me think
when
about
they
it.
do that. The closet.
The Dementors. Yeah, they're
Mm.
Dementors, right?
Didn't they? Doesn't
Oh, no,
their
no,
worst
they're,
fear come out of the closet thing?
Yeah, but it was a Dementor. Harry
For
Potter's
Harry's,
was
yes.
a Dementor,
Yeah.
but you're right. They were I can't remember the name of what those things were. Dude, it's right at the it's
Bad things.
oh my gosh. Someone's yelling at their radio right now, knowing what it is, but it's the certain thing that turns into whatever you fear. So, anyway, what to reward those that made it to the end, we're going to tell you what we're streaming right now, what we're digging right now.
Oh yeah. Sounds good. I mean,
so-
I already gave that up with the question you asked me.
Well, you talked about that last time with the video game. You mentioned that last time you wanted to shout it out. But is there any shows or anything or books or anything that you're reading right now that you're digging or music that you're into? You're like, no, it's all this video game. That is my life.
I've been, I don't know. I don't know. The video game has been huge, but shows, I'm not watching many shows right now.
Well, I'll start.
What
You
about
think
you?
about it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's getting tired. I finished The Crown finally. That was my last time. So I have been trying not to watch this show, but it is just so popular at work. And everybody's talking about it on social media, and all my wife's friends are talking about it. So I'm like, whatever, we're gonna start it, and we started it, and I'm addicted right now. It is trash television, but I am watching Love Is Blind season 6 right now, and it is garbage, but it is so addicting to watch these freaking idiots.
Love is Blind.
Yeah, it's the Netflix show right now. It's super popular. I've seen the first. My wife and I watched the first season. We haven't watched anything for a while, but this last season that just came out 6, everybody's just like, "You gotta watch it. It's crazy." So, we've been watching it. It's terrible, guys. But be warned: if you start it, you will not be able to stop watching it because it's pretty addicting.
A new, sorry.
The other thing I was gonna say is I'm really digging there's this artist I like called Nothing Nowhere. He's kind of like an emo rapper, which is a weird. It's kind of a weird. He was on my list of best albums last year, but he just dropped out of nowhere an album called Dark Magic. It's really weird, emo rock album, and I really like it. So if you're into that, or you're looking for just like a weird album to get lost in, Dark Magic by Nothing Nowhere is a really cool album. So I'd highly recommend it.
An artist I'm getting into a bit is Major Francis. Actually turned me on to him. Is Motionless in White.
Oh, Motionless in White. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know them.
Okay. Pretty like
They have a.
like
I haven't listened
metal.
to. Yeah, I haven't listened to a
Yeah.
ton of them, but man, do they have a cult following. The couple friends that I like, or that like Motionless in White, are obsessed with them. So
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. And then another thing I'm stoked for, which I will start getting into,
yeah,
is the we talked about it last time too, actually, but Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront's coming out tomorrow.
yes, and you know what? In 2 weeks, we're gonna be doing our Star Wars ranked with Dylan, I believe.
Yes.
So, and we'll be playing that.
Dad said Matt got stung at 2 years old by a wasp that went into a treetop apple juice can.
Yeah,
he
it
was drinking,
stung me on my
so
lip.
that makes
That's
sense that you
probably
were
why.
scared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably where it comes
That's
from.
why Sis and Keely are too.
They had that happen.
Well, I can't remember if Keely got. I think they both did, but Sis got stung like 8 times once.
Oh,
She went
man.
into a little playhouse at Chuck's grandparents' house, and there was a big old wasp nest inside there, and they just attacked her.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
it
I didn't
freaked
know
me out.
about
I was
this.
at work, and Chuck's like, "I know you said their mom was allergic to bees and stuff." I'm like, "Well, the second you see any signs, like can she breathe, that kind of stuff," I was like, "If you see any
Panicking,
signs,
yeah.
take her to the hospital. Sign,
Yeah.
I don't care. Just do whatever you need to do, you know." And that was stressful, but she was fine. But she is.
That makes
definitely
more
scared
scary.
of
That makes more sense now. She's scared of any bugs now, like anything that
and
moves.
that's why. Yeah.
Becca's kind of. It's weird how that's like inherent in your nature, because like Becca's like that. We've never talked about bees or bugs or anything. And she's seen a couple bugs or whatever, and she's like, "Whoa!" Like, what the heck
They're
is
pretty
that?
creepy looking.
Yeah.
You know, bugs can be way creepy looking. So
Oh, that makes sense. I
they're
forgot
aliens,
that
you know?
happened to me. You know, it also makes sense because I also got stung at a water park on my toe. I remember looking down, like, "Ow, my toe hurts," and I looked down, and there's a bee, wasp on my toe.
Weren't we there with Brett Cobley?
Yeah, and I like
Yeah, I
ripped it
remember that.
out. And so I think that's probably why. That's probably why I've got some wasp. I'm scared with some wasps is because of those
It makes sense.
experiences. So anyways, thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
listening.
Yes.
Sorry this one was all over the place. We'll do better. We will.
It
Promise.
doesn't need to be though. It's fine. We just
Yeah.
talk about whatever stuff we talk about. Plus, we're distracted. It's very hard to talk about whatever and play a video game, which I know we complain about a lot, but we love playing the video game.
We're getting
We
better
just
at
suck
it.
at doing both. Yeah, I feel like I was doing a lot of random stuff on this,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I was getting places a little bit.
I
real,
gotta get going though, dude. My back's starting to hurt, but
yeah. Well, Major Francis said that the clown snake was it's Lego or Batman Lego.
oh, Lego Batman. She brought that up last time too, right?
Yeah,
That was a good sequel.
she said spell it ridiculous,
Wait, what?
redonkulous.
Redonkulous. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for everybody on the chat.
Yeah, thanks for helping out.
We'll see you all next week, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks.
So.